So guys, TechMan05 aka Tommy Tech here. Today I'm going to show you a quick overview on changing the wheel hub assemblies on my 2000 Explorer 5.0. Same process for any 95 through 2001 Ford Explorer. Probably the Sport Track 2 up to 2005. Don't quote me on that. I had an ABS light that came on and wouldn't go off, and with 206,000 miles, I figured it'd be a good time to go ahead and do the hub assemblies. I've actually already done the passenger side, so I have an idea of what's going to go on. I'm not going to do every step, like I'm going to remove the wheel and the brake, but I will do the general overview on the actual hub-centric part, and yeah, I'll give you the torque specs that I got offline and off the Facebook page. And it's pretty simple, especially if you ain't got a lot of rust and corrosion. It's not that bad. Just have a hand set of 1/4 inch and not 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2 inch tools, preferably 8, 13, 15, 19 for the lugs, and then a 32 millimeter for the axle nut. Maybe a pry bar to get the CV joint off, and a torque wrench. Preferably if you can get the ones that go up to 200 plus, that'd be perfect. If not, you can make do without it. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and skip this section like I said, and I'm going to go ahead and get this off, and then I'll come back and we'll go from there. Okay, I have the wheel and the rotor off. I'm trying to get the focus in. Hang on. There's going to be obviously, when you get the caliper off, you want to take the two 15 millimeter bracket bolts off. That way you can pull the whole thing off. That way you're not going to have to push the caliper piston back, put the pads back in. Just do that, hang it up with the bungee cord strap, and hang on a second. Okay, so, and then there's going to be 3 bolts back here, and they're going to be hard to get off. You're definitely going to want to soak them in penetrating oil. See, this is back here, and then back here. It's going to take some effort to get to it because the CV boot is going to be in the way, and it's going to make it a pain. And then you're also going to want to disconnect your ABS wiring. Right here, there's an 8 millimeter bolt where it'll hook up. Just take that off. You know, pull it out of the retainer clips, and it'll hook in up under here. I already done that. So now you're left with is the 32 millimeter axle nut, and if I can find my socket, I'll run it off. So give me 1 second. Finish running this off. Oops. Should be able to pretty much get it by hand at this point. There we go. Alright, and they say you have to pry on it to get it off, but honestly on my last one, it pretty much came off. You might have to get a pry bar, which I got. The last one, it just seemed to come off on its own. I will probably have to pry on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I was having issues with the zoom. I don't know what happened, but now it seems like it's zooming and focusing. Anyways, I got the hub off and everything. You're going to notice that it's going to be really dirty. A lot of grit and dirt is going to be in here because there's really not a seal here. I don't know if there was or not, but there wasn't when I pulled one off or anything left of one. So you're going to want to take some brake clean up with a brush, get as much as that off and the rust. And honestly, when I put this back together, I'm honestly going to put a I don't know, the directions never said anything about this, but I don't see how it's going to hurt anything. But when I put the new hub on, I'm going to put a very thin amount of RTV black on here just to help kind of seal it up, because I'm thinking that's where a lot of dirt got in, and probably through hair too. but it won't hurt anything. There's no way it's gonna hurt anything. You know, it's just probably not necessary. But because my kit never came with any kind of gasket, but I want to make sure it's sealed up, and you know, I'm gonna put a little bit of grease, high temp grease on, not on here, but on here, on the splines, and I'm gonna do that, and then like I said, these bolts, when you put them back together, I think the torque specs was like 75 pounds. I can't really fit much of a ratchet back there, so what I'm going to do is tighten them as much as I can and snug them good. Put a little bit of Loctite on the thread ends and a little bit of anti-seize on the sleeves that don't have threads on them, and that should be good. And then, you know, you'll put your nut back on here. But it's pretty straightforward. And here's the, I got the Moog. Alright guys, here's the new assembly. The Moog part, as you can tell, comes with the new ABS sensor, which is the symptom. The old one, I still got to finish fishing the rest of that, the plug out, but as you can see, there's the old one. I'm not going to worry about picking it up and showing you. This one wasn't as bad. The other one was making a little bit of noise. Like as you turned it, it kind of squeaked a little bit. But yes, what you're going to do is, like what I'm going to do, is finish cleaning the rest of this. Put a thin bit of high temp grease on the splines and on the inside of the hub where the inside splines are. It's high temp grease. It's not like regular generic grease. It's synthetic grease. Anyway, yeah, clean that up. I'm gonna put a very thin amount of RTV black around here just to help seal it up some more as I'm putting the new hub assembly on. The new bolts, like I said, 70 to 75 pound-feet of torque, if I remember. It was right in that realm though. And what I'm going to do is put blue Loctite on the end of the threads on this, towards this end, and then since the bolts, where are the bolts at? Oh yes, I have them soaking in here. Since they have the unthreaded shoulders on them, I'm gonna put some anti-seize on here, so that way if I ever have to pull this out again for whatever reason, the anti-seize will help pop them loose a little bit easier, and it won't be as difficult as it was this first time. So that should work, and then I'm gonna put the 32-inch nut back on, or not 32 millimeter, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna put all that back together, and then I will get back to you guys once I get that done. Alright guys, got everything put back together, the wheels on. Haven't torqued the lug nuts yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and torque the axle nut. I'm gonna start off with 157, and then I'm gonna go to 184. So get this on. Okay. All right. Got it set to 184. Okay, done. That was a quick overview on how to do your wheel hub assemblies on a 9501 Ford Explorer. I believe 01 through 05 Sport Track's the same. You have to double check. But any 5.0 Explorer, most definitely, this is how it's done. Alright, hope this helps you guys a little bit. Catch you guys next time. Tummy Tech out.